Hello, this is Diana, and this is day what? Day 76, 77, whatever it is. We're getting up there in the 70s. I would like to talk about technology. I love technology, and I have the coolest news. The well, it's kind of not too cool, but it actually is quite cool. So I'll let you decipher all of that. So my sweet husband had this old, it was old and it was on its last legs. It was a Samsung Galaxy. Now there's nothing wrong with Samsung Galaxies. I had one and it was just a fine phone. However, once I discovered iPhone, it's like, oh yeah, right. There's just no comparison. Well, he had this old Samsung Galaxy and it finally died. I mean, just a couple days ago, it died. It didn't break. It didn't limp. It just wouldn't even power on, even though we had it all plugged in and it was, it should have been charged. We just a few days ago, I guess last week, we replaced the battery, and because it really needed it. Well, he needs to have a phone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on that one. He absolutely has to have a phone. So I said, well, do whatever you want to do. I have been razzing him for a long time about getting a new iPhone. And he just, he hates technology. He doesn't like it for a minute. It makes him moody. He growls and carries on like it's some big deal. And I'm going, yes, this is so easy. This is so much fun. Well, he said to me at some point yesterday, because that's when we had to go buy the phone, he said, I'm thinking about just letting you upgrade to a newer iPhone. I have an iPhone 6, and I've had it now for quite a few years. He said, I'm thinking about letting you upgrade to a newer iPhone, and I'll just take your old iPhone. And I said, well, that's great if you want to do that. It would certainly be a better time financially. Okay, because eventually, I said, it is kind of delaying the inevitable because we're at some point going to have to replace the iPhone. Although there's nothing wrong with it, but it's getting older and the battery doesn't last as long as it used to, and I've already replaced the battery on it once. But anyway, I said, that's fine. I said, that's great. I said, but I'm just going to let you do whatever you want because I didn't want to harass him about it. Well, we walked into the T-Mobile store and he just kind of handed the reins over to me and I had a ball. I pretty much decided that I wasn't going to get a new iPhone 10. I just refused to get it. I thought, I am not going to pay that kind of money for a phone. I'm just not. And I just refuse. It's like, okay, right, let's get a second mortgage on the house and buy a new phone. Ridiculous. Well, I've been with T-Mobile since like 05 or something like that. So it's been a long time that I've been with them. They saw, whenever I go in there and they see my record, they say, oh, you're one of our long-term members. We'll do this, we'll do that. And because of this, that, and the other. As it turns out, iPhone makes, I believe it's an iPhone 10R, which is not as expensive as the regular iPhone 10s. It's not quite, doesn't have quite all the bells and whistles. It was very comparable in price to the 8, I was thinking of getting the 8 or the 9 just because of the money. But when it comes out to buying technology, I actually prefer to get the most recent because technology just, it becomes obsolete so fast, even if it's still usable. Well, it turns out I walked out of there with an iPhone 10R and I am so excited. Tom is he's kind of lamenting not having his old phone because he didn't want to get a new phone. The fates forced him to get one. So he's kind of grumbling and grousing and looking like he lost his best friend. And I'm doing the happy dance. In fact, when we were in the T-Mobile store, and they're all a bunch of young guys there, right? And so I kind of was doing the happy dance. I was going to get a new phone. And I said, you saw that movie? I said, you saw the movie Love Actually? And he said, oh yeah, that old classic movie. And I thought, oh goodness, they think Love Actually is an old classic movie. Yeah, it's older, but classic? I'm thinking in terms of like Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, those kinds of things. Anyway, and they said, yeah. I said, you remember that scene where the lady's going, yay, she's doing the happy dance because the guy asked her out? Well, I said, that's how I feel about getting a new phone. So I am coming to you on my new iPhone 10, and don't know that it looks any different or any better, but I really like the way it performs. So it's just a fun thing for me, and I enjoy it immensely. That's all. Have a great evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.